Witam najlepsi przyjaciele. So, this is the last time I reacted to Unconquered Trying Times now, and also Unconquered. Now, this is the game of independence. And in the Unconquered Trying Times, they spoke about the independence, but not like in depth. So right now, I'll be checking this one out. So, if you're new to this channel, press the POLUB is ZASUBSKRYBUJ. And without further ado, let's get into it. So let's see the game.
High-stake games are played relentlessly, and to the very end, we use our greatest assets and go all in. We sacrifice a lot. We risk a lot. The history of nations has seen games in which everything was on the line, where independence,
just like Game of Thrones,
was at stake. In 1914, Europe is entering the decisive stage of a confrontation among superpowers.
1914. That was when some people were infiltrating Africa. Also,
Russia, Germany, and Austria-Hungary are at war. A new world is about to emerge out of the rubble of old regimes. Poland will be restored to the map as an independent country. Poles have been waiting for this moment for 123 years, ever since their homeland, with a millennium-long history, was usurped by 3 neighboring countries. Polish people lost their country, while the political collusion of Russia, Germany, and Austria-Hungary.
You know, the worst thing about this is that when a country is divided, like, you just displace the people. The people are being displaced into different parts of the world, and later on you won't even know your origin.
Prevented them from claiming independence. And yet the spark of freedom has not been put out. Artists, poets, and thinkers will make the national spirit survive, and many a time will Poles rise up in arms against the oppression. However, only a conflict among the partitioning countries gives hope for independence. The understanding among the superpowers is dying on the battlefields of the Great War. Cannon and rifle fire reverberates throughout Europe. However, the road to Poland's independence leads primarily through quiet interiors of political offices. While soldiers pull triggers, the politicians decide where the bullets fly. Józef Pilsudski, Roman Dmowski, and Ignacy Jan Paderewski have the same goal, but different personalities. Pilsudski's vision assumes armed combat. His Polish legions will be formed based on Austria-Hungary and become an incubator for the cadres of the Polish army, as well as a military argument in political biddings. Pilsudski envisions Poland as a multinational federation. He exhibits exceptional intuition and iron will, combined with a predilection for the fait accompli tactic. Roman Dmowski.
You know, the best thing about this is that they were all in this together. They all had a certain goal. I mean, their goals were the same, but they had different roles to play, and that was very vital.
Dmowski differs from Pilsudski in all respects except for patriotism. He is not a revolutionary, but a thinker and a political writer. His idea of a nation-state will soon prove difficult to reconcile with Pilsudski's vision. In his quest for freedom, Dmowski places his bet on the Entente States and an alliance with Russia. His Polish National Committee includes many supporters of this position. Ignacy Jan Paderewski is neither a brusque soldier nor a savvy politician. This famous pianist comes from the world of art. Paderewski's music attracts crowds and opens doors to political parlors. His captivating personality and diplomatic charisma win over an important ally for Poland, Woodrow Wilson, the President of the United States.
So this guy was was an artist also. Nice.
Meanwhile, the superpowers bleeding out on the front lines of the Great War start bidding using the Polish card. All 3 emperors declare a willingness to establish a Polish state. However, the architects of independence can sense that the empires will soon lose their influence over the course of events. Everything is happening very quickly. Pilsudski refuses to swear an oath of loyalty to the German emperor and is imprisoned. Dmowski and Paderewski establish the Polish Army and Polish National Committee in France. The latter is recognized as the official Polish representative body. Poland has its diplomacy. though it still lacks its own territory. Several months later, the Bolshevik Revolution eliminates Russia from the struggle among superpowers. Western politicians have yet to notice the threat, but in 3 years' time, the Polish army, led by Pilsudski, will be the one to stop the Red Army near Warsaw. However, the winds of history are blowing not only in Russia. The beginning of 1918 brings a plan for the world worn out by war. President Wilson's 14 points contain a new model of international relations. The next to last point is the result of Paderewski's diplomacy. It assumes the creation of an independent Polish state. Meanwhile, the Great War is nearing its end amongst chaos and destruction. Poles gradually reclaim their country from the hands of crumbling empires. After being released from prison, Pilsudski takes power in Poland as the chief of state. Several days later, the world receives news unheard of in more than a century. The dispatch sent by Pilsudski announces the founding of a state. It declares Poland is back on the map. The peace conference in Paris confirms this new world order. Poland is represented by Dmowski and Paderewski. The latter will reconcile long-term political opponents once again by taking up the office of the Prime Minister. The first chapter of regained autonomy has been written. The great game for freedom and sovereignty against the occupiers has been won. The young Polish state will soon face a trial. But now, Poland is independent.
Cool. Wow, this was another one. This was amazing too. This just told you that no matter what, if you guys are united, you can't be easily divided. Even though obviously individuals will face like crazy persecutions, but at the end of the day, if you are strong, you tend to come out very strong. So this was another Polish history reaction, and it was amazing and I enjoyed it. It was cool and I enjoyed watching it. So if you're new to this channel, proszę POLUB ZASUBSKRYBUJ, and you can check the other Polish history reactions that I've done in this channel, and also watch the other videos I have in this channel if you're new and if you haven't seen them. So thank you and have an amazing day. Peace. Bye bye.